welcome this month's RC Racing, where as you can see I'm taking a lovely stroll in the glorious English countryside. But on the show we have Ollie in sunny Austria with the European 1/10 touring car finals, and Ollie in sunny Luxembourg with the track 1/8 finals. And Ollie, I suppose, is just doing everything now. It's just all flipping Ollie's show. Why is it always Ollie? Why can't I do it? Am I too old? Is that it?
Hello everyone, we're here in Austria for the 2011 EFRA European Touring Car Championships. Ronald Volker won this event last year in France. He was challenged hard by Elliot Harper in 2010. Ronald's domination continued through the winter, winning the indoor Euros as well. But in the last few months, drivers like Marc Rheinard have really come back on form, and Gilles Groskamp is back in Europe after spending a year in Thailand. He's competing this event as well, and they both hope to challenge Ronald for the overall title.
Yeah, the last year's Euros was perfect. Everything was just great for me at that race, and for this race it will be really difficult as Marc is a really strong competition at this time. Of course, it's the hardest challenge to be the current world champion.
So here we are with the starting grid for the 2011 EFRA European Touring Car Championship. Starting on pole position, we've got Marc Rheinard, the German driver, with his Tamiya chassis. Second place on the grid is going to be another German driver, Yannick Prumper, with the Yokomo. Third place on the grid, it's another Yokomo. This one is for Ronald Volker, another German. Fourth place on the grid, it's an X-Ray for Swedish driver Alexander Hagberg. Fifth on the grid, another Swedish driver, Victor Wilk, with a Tamiya. Sixth place on the grid, it's young German driver with a Kosho, Christopher Krapp. Seventh place on the grid, another German driver driving a Serpent, it's Mark Fischer. Eighth place on the grid from Denmark is Steen Graversen with his automatics. Ninth place on the grid from Holland, it's Gilles Groskamp with a Tamiya. And 10th place on the grid is British driver Andy Moore with a Hot Bodies. That's your A final lineup. Let's go off to the commentary with John HINDHAUGH.
Tension rising as we wait for the signal to go, and there it is, and Rheinard from pole position on the Tamiya does get the jump and into the very technical infield. It's all about getting your braking points and your lines right here. It's very difficult to pass unless you've got a real advantage or the driver in front of you makes a mistake. Still Prumper in second, Volker in third as they were off the grid. That's just underlining what we were saying. This track has been a good challenge during the week. As I say, very difficult to find an opening. You've really got to work hard and manufacture somewhere to get through. A mixture of different curbs here, as you'll have already seen from these opening laps. We've got the normal built-up curbs, as you see there. There are also some of the nightmare upturned saucers in the middle section that we've seen in the past. Of course, so many problems. There you are there, just on that inside of the technical section. That can really launch a car, and you've got to be millimetre perfect, and that is what Marc Rheinard is doing, the German, with the Speed Passion motor at the moment holding sway over Prumper, and the Yokomo with the Thunder Power, and Ronald Volker also for Yokomo with the LRP motor. But at the moment Rheinard is looking, dare I say this, but he's looking comfortable in the lead. He's just seems to be controlling the gap back to the rest of the field. The current world champion, who we've seen many times here on RC Racing. And when he is on form, my goodness me, is there anybody better than him? His concentration levels absolutely unparalleled, and he's really in the groove here after what's been a pretty good week of racing for him. Leading three, getting away from the rest of the field, and you just don't feel as though Rheinard is under any pressure at all. It's almost as if he's just out there doing some practice laps. He's reeling them off within fractions of a second of each other. The consistency is metronomic. And now we see that there's a bit of a change, because there's only now two cars in the battle. And the two Germans then pulling away. We've lost Volker, the current European indoor champion. There he is, he's just dropped back a bit. That's left Yannick Prumper in second place. He was second in the indoor Europeans. This phenomenal, almost conveyor belt of German talent, with Prumper still in his teenage years, and what a future this young man's got. And just for a moment, over the last couple of laps, he's beginning to close down on the maestro, on Rheinard at the head of the field. Now will we see Rheinard begin to in any way, shape or form change his driving style. At the moment he doesn't appear to be. He's not showing any pressure. He's just driving the line, hitting the marks, getting through the technical section. Was there just a little wobble there from Marc Rheinard, as he must now surely realise that the pressure is beginning to be turned up by Yannick Prumper with the Thunder Power motor on the Yokomo, who is closing in just by, well, I was going to say tenths of seconds. It's not even that much. It's hundredths and thousandths of a second. But the lap times are showing at the moment that that lead is coming down. It was well up towards 2 seconds, and now it's way less than that as we head into the last lap, with Rheinard surely on for a first victory in this A final, and he's just about got enough here. It's been a valiant effort from Prumper, but he'll come through in second. Marc Rheinard, our winner. So confirmation of a German 1-2-3 led by Rheinard from Prumper and Volker, with Victor Wilk coming home in 4th, Grosskamp in 5th, Steen Graversen making up the top 6. So the simple equation is that Marc Rheinard wins it, and he takes the EFRA Touring Car Euro Championship, and he's started at the very best of paces, but this time Yannick Prumper in second place, who must do something to get ahead of that car if he is to give any kind of challenge. And at the moment those two have streaked away from a real quality field. It's the two Germans, the old master and the young pretender, and just a slight mistake there going out onto the main straight has allowed a tiny bit of breathing space for Marc Rheinard. But we saw that Yannick Prumper very good in the last quarter or third of the first of this A final. Rheinard though seems to have got into his groove, and that's a bad sign for Prumper and everyone else who's chasing him down. Seldom have we seen Marc Rheinard give away any kind of advantage. The battle for second hotting up between Prumper, Volker, and I think that's Alex Hagberg in there as well, isn't it? As they go through at full speed. This circuit combining a very technical infield with some much quicker spots, like from here right the way across the start-finish line, and then it's hard on the brakes into this chicane area. It's all about getting the rhythm right and getting yourself into the groove. Really just one racing line here, and we've seen throughout the competition that it is very, very difficult indeed to pass unless one of your opponents makes a mistake or indeed allows you to go through. Marc Rheinard has just been fantastic. 3 times a world championship. This is the discipline that he's best known for, and well, you can see why. Quite frankly, he is just edging away, and in fact that battle for second place might just be helping him a little bit now, with Yannick Prumper having to look behind him and see what's going on. He will be feeling there's a little bit, perhaps just a little bit of the tyres going away there on the front of the Tamiya of Marc Rheinard. All of a sudden he's just having to put a little bit more steering effort into it, understeer, push as you would call it, and he just, I noticed there in the infield, just having to modify his line a little bit. So are we seeing a problem? And does that mean that these three, Yannick Prumper, in the middle is Volker, and then Hagberg in the green machine on the end of that, can they claw back towards this man, the leader, Marc Rheinard? Already won the first leg. That gap's about the same, isn't it, from when we saw it a couple of laps ago. Wins this, he'll take the championship. You're new to RC events, then it works on a points system, 3 legs for the A final, and the person who has the least score from their positions is the winner. A bit like golf. So if you win, you get 0 points, and it's 2 out of 3 heats. Oh, mistake there! Mistake by Prumper in second place. He just got a little bit of oversteer. The back end of the car got loose, and that was all that Volker needed to go through. There it is again. Smashing piece of opportunist driving, just what we were talking about. Very difficult to make a clean pass unless there's a mistake or a loss of momentum by the car in front of you, and that's exactly what happened. No problems for Marc Rheinard. That's all going on behind him, not even now in his peripheral vision. Look, as he's pulled out onto his last lap. As they come through to complete, and this will be the championship 2011 EFRA Touring Car Euros goes in 2 heats only to Marc Rheinard, who gets the congratulations of his competitors. And now he gets the honour of speaking to Ollie down in pit lane.
Yeah. Marc Rheinard winning leg 2, picking up his another European championship. Let's go and grab a word with Marc. He's come off the rostrum, everyone round to congratulate him. Scotty's getting out of the way. Marc, 2 leg wins, fantastic drives from the A finals, well done.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't be better today. I mean, the first leg was pretty close with Yannick. He was pushing pretty hard. It was a pretty close final, and yeah, second man in the beginning, like, could see the first 2 laps. He was really, really onto my rear end of the car. But then he had one slider thing, he had one sideways, and then my car was just pretty easy to drive. I could control the race, and yeah, I could see the gap got bigger and bigger. So I'm pretty happy.
Confirmation then of Marc Rheinard taking the second leg win and the championship from Ronald Volker, making that opportunist manoeuvre into second place, with Prumper in third, Hagberg, Wilk and Grosskamp for your top 6.
Yo, Matt, is this trendy enough for you? I'm down with the kids here at the skate park. Ha, that'll teach Ollie. Anyway, still to come in this month's RC Racing, we have the final leg of the Touring Car Euros and the final of the 1/8 track Euros from Luxembourg. And also look at HPI's latest rally car. That's all coming up after the break. Yo, word. So from 1/8 rally cars to 1/8 track cars and the European Championships from Luxembourg. God, I don't want to be trendy, it's too cold. I'm going home to my fireplace, my pipe and my slippers.
So here we are for the start of the European Championship final. The mechanics of the cars on the grid step back and we're off and racing, and it's a good clean start up front for the first few corners, round through the banking section, through the corkscrew, down the back straight. But we see Balestri in the lead make a mistake on the banking section, which puts Michele Romagnoli in the lead. In fact, we've got a battle for first place for much of the first few laps between Michele Romagnoli in the orange car number 2, and Ilya Van Gastel, the yellow car number 3. We see problems here for Lamberto Collari getting caught up in an infield scrap, and also later on Robert Pitch makes a mistake coming off of the corkscrew. So after the first round of pit stops, the order is Ilya Van Gastel out in front. Robin Dont is in second place, and Dario Balestri is now back up into third. This is Dario racing Robert Pitch. And here we go, we got the first 5 cars really close together on the track. These 5 cars on the straight together. Oh, and Balestri touches with Dont, and that puts Robert Pitch through into second place, and Collari gained as well, he's up to 4th. Okay, so just had another round of pit stop, and Robert Pitch has just taken the lead. Both Ilya van Gastel and Dario Balessi had some poor pit stops. Robert is now in the lead. Here he comes onto the pit straight now. And then we can see Balessi behind him, and Van Gastel's dropped back even further. Here comes Dario into the pit lane, the pink car. Fuel goes into the car. And here's the tyre change for Dario. Looks nice and smooth on the first side of the car. The second, the tyres go on. Oh, a little bit of a stuck tyre there, but it's a fairly clean stop, and he's out of the pit lane. So Dario Balessi, car number 1, has had some problems with his car. He's just thrown it off of the track, and he's been in the pit stop, and his mechanics pulled the car off the track. He's got some serious handling issues with his car. He's back on the track at the moment, but it's running okay, but he's now a couple of laps down the field, so it looks like his dream of winning a European Championship title in this class is over for another year. Robert Pitch has got problems with his car. Mechanics rushing it back to the pits. Looks like he's walking down the rostrum, in fact, at the side of walking down the steps at the edge of the rostrum, but he is out of the race. So Lamberto Collari, now your race leader. Car number 5, he's been running a different pit strategy. He's got himself up into the leading position. Obviously Dario and Robert Pitch having problems with their cars. Gives Collari quite a lot of breathing room at the moment. So with just 7.5 minutes left to run, Lamberto still leading. We've only got 5 cars left on track. So Lamberto leading. We've then got Ilya van Gastel in second place, and here we can see Rick Vreelinck, 9th on the grid, is up into 3rd place. So just a real showing of how difficult this Luxembourg track is and how hard on the cars. Just how important it is to make sure you're actually still running at the end of the 45-minute race. At the moment, Rick's works way from 9th on the starting grid up into the 3rd place. 1 minute left on the clock now. We've got Collari going down the back straight through the bank sweeper at the end. Collari is in fact a lap up on everyone, apart from at least a lap up on everyone, apart from second place man Van Gastel. This was probably going to be the last lap for Collari. Down the back straight he goes. Into this tricky infield section. Oh, a slight wiggle from there. His tyres have been run for about 22.5 minutes. And time has expired. He comes around the last corner. He's going to cross the line and he's going to win. Van Gastel finishes in 2nd place. And Rick Vreelinck finishes in 3rd place to complete the podium.
Every time is different emotion because each victory has a different story behind.
So completing the top 10, we had Michel Romagnoli finishing in 4th, Oliver Mack finishing 5th. That was the end of the drivers running at the finish. Then behind them, Robin de Hondt classified in 6th, Robert Pitch in 7th, Eric Dankel 8th, TQ driver Dario Balessi finishing 9th overall, and Simon Kurzbuch finishing in 10th place.
Well, congratulations there to Lamberto on yet another European Championship. And now back to Austria for the final leg of the Touring Car Euros. And with your commentary, it's John HINDHAUGH.
With the championship already in the bag, Marc Rheinard has stepped aside, and that allows Yannick Prumper to effectively start from pole position, and he's made the best of that, hasn't he? As Ronald Volker is in 2nd place. 3rd place is that bright grey machine of Hagberg, and it's as you were from the start there as they go through. Prumper, who just couldn't capitalise on getting close enough to Marc Rheinard in those first 2 legs, is now battling for 2nd overall in the standings at the end of this EFRA Touring Car Euros. Very simple, even for a bear of medium brain like me. Whoever is ahead from himself and Ronald Volker will be 2nd place in the championship, and they are 1st and 2nd at the moment, having exactly similar results, 2nd and a 3rd from their first 2 heats. So the better of the heat scores this time around, and Prumper at the moment is failing the heat from Ronald Volker on the Yokomo with the LRP motor, and just for a moment there he was right underneath the rear wing of the leader. So Prumper now is very much in defensive mode, where he was trying to chase down Marc Rheinard in the first 2 events. Remember, he overcooked it in the 2nd leg, lost the rear of the car, had to get out of the throttle, and that allowed the blue and white machine of Ronald Volker to go through and take 2nd place in the 2nd leg. That's be kicking himself for that, otherwise he would have already have been confirmed as second in the Euro Championship. He's doing a good job though at the moment. But as you can see, we've got the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 absolutely together. He's not really stretching them, is Yannick Prumper, so maybe just driving within himself a little bit. He seems to come alive in the latter stages of the races. Certainly that's how it's been in the first 2 legs of this A final. So Prumper then from Volker, Hagberg, Victor Wilks right in there as well. And as he comes through, as they all come through, there's still nothing between. Any of the top 6 could be on the podium. Any of the top 6 could win this, frankly. Prumper in that white-fronted car with the yellow and blue. Oh, there was a little challenge there from Hagberg in that green machine. He just couldn't get past. He was alongside for a moment, the second place driver. You just wonder who's going to blink first. Supreme concentration. This is fantastic stuff. And I know you're watching there thinking, oh, come on, they're not really trying. Surely you could just get on the power a bit earlier or brake a bit later. No, they're on the ragged edge here, as you can see, from Hagberg and Victor Wilk battling together, the green and the yellow car in 3rd and 4th position, just at the back of the shop there. And all of a sudden, the times are starting to come down. The pressure is being put on, but the leader, as they head into the last lap, is still Yannick Prumper. He's done a cracking job. Second place is Ronald Volker, then it's Hagberg and Wilk, very, very close together. In fact, Wilk has gone through into 3rd place as they come through to the final couple of corners. It's going to be Prumper and rolling out. The second place man has gone. Ronald Volker has gone and rolled out of 2nd place. Wilker comes through in 2nd with Grosskamp up there in 3rd position. Volker down to 4th. And oh my goodness me, and we're hearing there's more drama because this incident here, when Volker goes through and takes out Hagberg, goes into 3rd place, which became 2nd, has been penalised by the judges, and he's been given a 10-second penalty. So here are the revised and final results of the 3rd leg. It was Yannick Prumper who took the win. Grosskamp comes through into 2nd, with Volker, despite rolling, going into 3rd. Then Fischer, Gravesen, Hagberg, Victor Wilk with the 10-second penalty way down the order. Now, in the overall, we knew that Marc Rheinard had won it. Yannick Prumper has been confirmed in 2nd position. Ronald Volker in 3rd, from Grosskamp, Wilk and Hagberg for the top 6.
Yeah, I feel happy. It's a great result for me. Also in the Czech Republic, I was 2nd overall. So yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, it was difficult to get the pace for Marc. And the last main, it was we had no chance to win, so we tried to secure 2nd and 3rd. It was really difficult because we all went very close on the track, and yeah, 2nd and 3rd is for the team still great.
That's all we've got time for on this month's RC Race, but next month we're back with electric off-road European action and all the news, views, interviews and strange stuff that makes RC racing quite literally the greatest radio-controlled car programme on a European television channel. See you next month.